All right, welcome back to Hawaii Real, everybody. I'm your host, Io Ke'ehu, and I have Hawaiian Springs Water as our beverage host today. Cha-ching. You can get this at any of your grocery stores or at Amazon. I'll put the Amazon link in the description below. You can go ahead and order it online and have it delivered straight to your door. Bottle straight from the Big Island. Did you know this, brother?
It did not.
Did not. Straight from the Big Island, from the aquifer. They don't do anything to it.
It's delicious.
Put it in the bottle.
Are you serious?
To your door. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to start buying it now.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
It's alkaline water, too. 7.7 pH.
I see that, the pH, right.
Yeah. So everybody's like, oh, what's the pH? It's like 7.7 super alkaline. It's like, no. So alkaline actually starts at 7.
Gotcha.
Below that is acidic. Above 7 is alkaline. You can't be too alkaline or it's not good either.
Got it.
And then 7.7 is just above alkaline. So, man, you eating that gravy, all the acidic foods and stuff. Yeah.
Neutralize it.
It tastes better. Yeah.
It's a good water.
It feels better in your stomach.
I like it.
I like it.
I also like it now that I learned about it. I didn't know this is straight from the Big Island.
Yeah. Volcanic
Got it.
alkaline water.
You hear about the water that they sell to Japan for like $1,000 or something per bottle?
It's probably the same stuff.
Is it the same? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's just from the sink, but I don't know.
And everybody, today I have with me Chef Kale from Hawaii's Only. Thank you so much, Kale.
Thank you for having me.
Dude, it's been a long time.
Yeah, you flaked on me, remember?
Shut up. It was not me flaking out.
I
doesn't flake.
I flaked out.
But no, for good reason, because you got super, super busy.
Bro, I booked with you. I don't know, this is like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was a while ago. And I was just starting up my food truck. And I was so behind schedule. I was making lobster dogs and shrimp plates. It was coming out of my ears. Yeah.
Well, for those of you who don't know Chef Kale, Instagram superstar, chef.
No.
Yeah. So where can they find you on Instagram?
All handles are at Hawaii's Only.
Hawaii's Only.
At Hawaii's Only. Yes, Hawaii's Only.
Well, that's super awesome because, I mean, Hawaii's Only, that's got to be a very valuable name.
You know what? I don't know. I have no idea. It just, my original name was Hawaii's Only _ insurance fisherman because my background is actually insurance. So I sold insurance before. Well, actually, I still do, but very, very minimum. And I thought I could build like a brand selling insurance. Come to find out, it's really difficult because insurance is so boring that nobody wants to hear about insurance. They just don't. So what I would do is I would post pictures of like fish, like me holding fish or cutting fish or cooking fish or whatnot. And then I would put like a little insurance message on there. Like, save 10% on your car insurance under, the caption. Yeah. And that's how I would try to, and it didn't work. So my wife's like, just drop the insurance fisherman. I was like, no.
Wow. But little did you know that I transitioned to the whole fisherman.
That's what it transitioned.
Chef.
It did.
Wow.
Yeah. So later, Instagram started to offer videos, little 15-second videos. And then I started to cut fish and cook fish. And then it kind of like, I dropped the insurance fisherman part, which I thought was pretty cool, right? Because people would actually be like, are you really the only insurance fisherman out there? And I'm like, no, but that's just my, my handle, that's, so I'll get that a lot, so I thought it was
like,
cool.
are you sure? Are you selling insurance for boats? Like, what's it about?
So I used to dabble in like life insurance a little bit. My background is actually Medicare insurance. That's kind of like my specialty. And
super exciting.
It's so exciting. No, but what I did was I created my own insurance and I called it fisherman's insurance. So I said, like, if you're out on a boat or you're fishing, which is dangerous, right? And you pass away, then your family's going to get money.
Wow. Okay, good.
But really what that is, it's just plain old life insurance. It's just plain old life insurance that I just rebranded as fisherman's insurance. And that was one of my marketing techniques.
Genius.
Yeah. It's still a little silly, but yeah.
No.
I got so many calls.
Yeah.
You know who called? The women. The wives of...
Hey, my husband's on the boat every weekend. He needs insurance because I hear about these guys going out. They get a heart attack. Something happens.
The boat flips over, right? There's
the marlin comes out and stabs somebody.
Well, yeah. No, so wives are so worried about their husbands. So I do a lot of diving and a lot of fishing. And my wife just can't leave me alone. Text me when you're in the water. Text me while you're diving. Text me when you're out of the water. Yeah. She wants to get an update. I'm like, babe, I can't text you while I'm in the water. She's like, I got you this dry bag. You put on your buoy. You put your cell phone in there. It's a Ziploc. You just text. I'm like, goodness. No, so they just worry. They're worried about.
For good reason.
For good reason, yeah. Yeah, it's a dangerous, hobby, right? So yeah, I created this thing called Fisherman's Insurance. I put a picture, and I got so much activity from it. And then I forget I sold a bunch of policies doing that, and then I just stopped. Yeah, and then I don't think I was passionate about insurance as I am fishing and cooking, so we transitioned out. Yeah, but that was the start of it. Many, many years ago when I only had 20 followers. Yeah.
How many followers are you up to now?
I don't know, a couple thousand now. Yeah.
It's probably like 10.
Yeah, around there. Yeah. It's not that much though. It's still a small page. I'm building it, it's a small page.
It's not small. Are you only on Instagram or you were delving into TikTok, I saw?
I have a little bit of TikTok, which I do not know how to use.
Same thing. It's just the reels. It's just reels.
So
all those short videos.
Yeah. So the stuff that I use on Instagram.
Yeah.
I just the old stuff I just put on TikTok.
Yeah.
If it hits, it hits. For some reason, TikTok's algorithm, for whatever reason, it's easier to build a following.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's all over the place, but I don't even know how it works, but.
I don't know how it works. Yeah. So my kids run my TikTok for me.
Awesome.
Yeah. But the TikTok, it has I saw a funny clip. I saw this funny clip. There's these business people talking about TikTok. And they're explaining that TikTok is owned by China, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Chinese company invented it.
They're saying China, the algorithms, the way it works, is if you're into technology or science or books or math, and you do a video and you educate, those TikToks algorithm pushes it to the top. So the famous TikTokers in China are educators.
Yep.
Or super, super smart people. And then you look at America and they're and what is the algorithm pushing here in America? People dancing and throwing slushies or Slurpees at the drive-in window guy and then pulling pranks on each other.
Stupid stuff.
So it's we're raising a generation of idiots. China is playing the long game. They're don't worry, we're going to make this app. And in 30, 40 years, we're going to have no one to lead the country in the United States of America. And I sat back and I was I wonder how true that is. That's crazy to think about. So I don't know if it's true or not, or if it's conspiracy theory, but yeah, I saw that. It was interesting.
Well, it's not so much conspiracy theory as far as what China's pushing out in their algorithms on TikTok and social media in China, because they have a lot stronger regulations and what they can put out there, right? They can just tell the company, hey, this is what is going to be successful.
Gotcha.
Stuff that's about math, stuff that's about science, stuff that's about agriculture, teaching, how to make cement, whatever.
Right. Right.
Just genuine skill sets on stuff, right?
Yes.
Not Tide Pod eating. That's freaking retarded.
That's crazy to me. So,
but then I'm just well, let them eat Tide Pods, man. Just weed them out.
Just weed them out. Yeah. So we'll see what happens in 10, 20, 30 years. But my TikTok account, for some reason, it kind of just, it grows. I don't understand it. But yeah, whatever.
No, just keep posting on TikTok. You'll get a good following, man.
We'll see. That's, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Because, a lot of the stuff that you do, some of the videos I've seen is you just cooking fish and preparing fish and all this good stuff.
Yeah. So, I first, when I started creating videos, I try to make it super duper elevated in on a beach setting. So I would bring my generator, my sous vide machine. I would just try to make it the most extra, most wildly elevated meal. And that kind of is cool, right? Because no one did that. And then after a while, people are Brad, you're too complicated. And so now I just make nori rice and spam, which people equally love.
Yeah.
And so now I'm trying to find the balance of okay, we'll do one elevated meal, then we'll do a kitchen dinner hack that all families can follow, and then we'll do one that's super simple and super delicious. Yeah. So now we're kind of rounding out how I cook and what I cook. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because I know some of the videos that I like to watch are the ones that are simpler things that I can just be oh, I can do that. Oh, that's how you do that. Oh,
Yes.
This is awesome.
That's exactly, what you can learn in that 60 seconds and then apply it, that's what people want. Yeah.
Like I saw one about like just cooking steaks and how like it's pretty basic. You don't have to go too much detail to do it. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Changes a little bit of my dynamic on cooking steak. And
people
tastes a little bit better.
It's like they're using TikTok or Instagram as like a learning vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's why when you make an educational, like, oh, this is why you should do it. So I call everything on my page now, I call it a hack. So everything I do, I call it a hack because people like want to learn.
Yes.
so funny. I put together some live mussels with some beer, some butter, and some garlic, and a little bit of herbs. Just like 4 ingredients. Super simple, right? Cook it for 2 minutes, and then it's pow, you got dinner. And so I called it the sauce hack. And then this one guy's like, what's the hack? You just put butter and garlic in it. I was like, yeah, that's the hack.
That's the hack.
You put butter and garlic and it tastes great. Yeah. So everything I do, I call it a hack. And when maybe you should try. You just call it a hack. Call it a hack. And then people just like, what's the hack? And then they watch it. And then, so I do like spam musubi hack. I do a muddy buddy hack. Anything I do, I just call it a hack. Steamed fish hack. And that's all. And it's been working so far. I might have to change it after this podcast comes out. But so far, that's what I've been doing. Yeah, I call everything a hack.
Now my brain's starting going. It's like, oh, what could I hack? What could I do?
Yeah. And even if there's no hack,
they watch it because they think there's a hack.
Yeah. Or even if it's not a hack, like you just call it a hack and people will be like, oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like they force themselves to learn something. Yeah.
Make sure my water bottle's not blocking your face.
Oh, gotcha. I also do one where I go to different restaurants. So the probably the most popular one is McDonald's and Zippy's. Zippy's I think is popular because of the Hawaii demographic. But I took a bowl of saimin and then a side order of chicken, and I take the chicken and I put it into the saimin, and we just call it a Zippy's hack. And it kind of took off.
That's a good hack. Ordering multiple things from a restaurant and then combining it.
Yeah.
So my Zippy's hack.
Yeah. Or you got? Oh yes,
I got one.
I want to make a video of it. Give it to me, or unless you want to.
Yeah. No, we'll do it right now. It's like okay. So you order the chicken katsu.
Got it.
No need the mac salad. I don't know if people like mac salad. That's fine.
I love mac salad.
Okay. Mac salad if you like, whatever. Then you order a bowl of chili.
Got it.
Chili on top.
Chili on the chicken katsu.
Chili on the chicken katsu. Zippy's chili, Zippy's chicken katsu combined.
Like a chicken katsu curry, but with the chili.
Yeah.
You get a fist bump for that
fist
one.
bump. Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that's my hack.
I'll tag you.
Simple, but wow.
I'm going to tag you when I make the video. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna tag you when I make that video because I'm gonna make that.
I'll send you a selfie with my funny stupid face.
Chili all over.
No, because when you go to like potlucks and stuff like that, people have Zippy's chili and Zippy's chicken katsu like trays and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And it all ends up on one plate. And mine, the chili goes all over the rice.
Yeah.
Which is next to the chicken katsu,
Exactly.
which gets spilled onto the chicken katsu. Next thing you know, you got chicken katsu chili.
I think that's but you definitely gotta have mac salad with that.
I toss it out.
You're not a mac salad.
Like mac salad, no.
So I do videos with
not all mac salad. There's some that I do like. It's just
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Zippy's mac salad.
Sorry. Hashtag no.
I do some funny videos with mayonnaise. So so a lot of people don't like mayo. Some people so you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
I like mayo because it's like mac salad.
Yeah.
So I'll take a bowl of chili and then slap on a spoonful of mayonnaise. It's kind of like I don't know if they tease Polynesian people for doing it, but I grew up eating mayonnaise with everything because my mom. But I guess they call it like a poly thing. Like Samoans and Hawaiians or Tongans, they eat mayonnaise with all their meals. Mayo. But yeah, so I just take like my stew luau that I make, and I just slap a fat thing of mayo on it with some chili pepper water, and I just eat it on camera. And people are like putting those those puke emojis. Yeah, and then other people are putting like heart eye emojis. Yeah, so you either hate it or you love it. But
yeah,
I do like to eat some mac salad and mayonnaise on the side. Yeah,
I think you're onto something. Like mayonnaise can be a great ingredient in a lot of stuff. On the surface, you may look at it as like ew, because you're thinking about just tasting the mayonnaise.
Yeah.
With tasting the other item.
Yeah.
but it's not. When you mix it all together, you know.
Sometimes I eat mayo just like
Sometimes
pudding.
it's gold. Okay, that's disgusting.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just joking. No, but I could. I think I could. I think I love mayo that much. I'll take a local moco, no rice, sub mayo, please. You know, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that though. No, mayonnaise is not a bad ingredient. It's really good. It's like ketchup too. It's like you can put ketchup on a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And make it gold.
You know what's funny is I don't really eat ketchup. Isn't that interesting?
No, because you like mayonnaise.
Because I like mayonnaise.
I think it's one or the other.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you can mix them too, right? And then you get the
Thousand Island dressing?
Yeah, Thousand Island.
I don't really like
With some
Thousand Island dressing.
relish.
With the relish, yeah. Yeah, you're a cook.
No. I just like dissected it and heard about it. It's
Yeah,
like,
but
that's all it is. It's like, yeah, it's our secret sauce. It's like, okay, it's freaking ketchup.
Yeah, they'll do that for like burgers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Burger King.
Oh, that's my other Zippy's hack.
Oh, you got another?
The chicken katsu sauce, ketchup inside the chicken katsu sauce.
Gotcha.
You make more sauce and it kind of sweetens it a little bit more.
Yeah. I think chicken katsu sauce is like a variation of like ketchup and Worcestershire sauce, something like that. So if you're adding more ketchup, I think that works.
Yeah.
How many hacks do you have for Zippies? Because that was a really popular video for me. Like it was like really popular. So if I make more Zippy's hacks, that could like, you know, help boost my algorithms.
No, I think that's the one I got.
That's do you have two?
Okay, that's two.
Yeah. The Zippy's, the katsu with the chili, that's gonna be good.
I should try ketchup in the chili.
Ketchup.
Is that sacrilege? Sorry. You're putting ketchup in the chili? What's wrong with you? It's like, well, dude, let's be honest. You put ketchup in everything.
You put ketchup on everything, yeah. I've done a McDonald's one.
Yeah.
Where we take the McDonald's, you know those 99-cent, or they used to be 99 cents. It might be $1.29 now, the gas prices. But they take the sausage McMuffin with no egg. Okay. Just the plain sausage McMuffin.
Okay.
Because it comes on an English muffin. And then you get some jelly. Because they have jelly there.
Yeah.
And then you put the jelly on top of the English muffin and you smash it together.
Oh.
So it's like sweet and salty combo.
That sounds really good.
That's so good. That's a really, really good one. So that's the other video hack that did pretty well for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you brought up a good point with the salty and sweet. Like
Yeah.
salted chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
Like you'd think that's disgusting. Why would you put salt on top of the chocolate chip cookie until you take a bite?
Delicious.
And you're just like, oh, what?
Delicious. Yes.
What is going on here? It's just amazing.
Delicious.
So, yeah, cooking hacks from Chef Kale.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whatever we can do to help boost the algorithm for Instagram and TikTok, you know, whatever videos that is like trendy or I'm not sure. So I make them all. So we'll do the hacks. I do a lot of recipes too. We do a lot of simple recipes. Like another one that people like is like the dinner for 4 or dinner for 6 for under $10. You know, we'll do those types of things. Yeah. Okay. You know, we'll also do like, cause I work with fish a lot. We'll do fish scraps, right? So whether you catch the fish yourself or you go to like Thomas Show Market and they have like fish scraps. So I show a video where I walk into Times and it just so happened there's salmon skin for 62 cents. So I made and created a meal with a 62-cent salmon skin fish scrap. So people seem to like and gravitate towards that. Yeah. So that was a pretty cool one.
That's so cool. Yeah. Anything that can be, you know, very affordable and cheap and easy to do.
Yeah.
You know, I assume that's easy to do. So where do you come up with these ideas to do that kind of stuff? Like not the social media stuff, but the cooking part, the combining of the ingredients.
That's a great question. I have no idea. I have no idea. It just comes to me. I have, you know, I guess some people like see things like when they see art or basketball connoisseurs or wine guys. Me, everything I relate to is food. Like we've been talking about food like this whole episode for the past 10 minutes, but everything in my mind is like food. It's based with like pairings of food, like rice and nori goes good together, mayo and wasabi goes good together. You know, pomegranate and ginger goes good together. You know, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, my whole thinking is food, and how I get the idea, I have no idea. I think maybe because I eat out a lot, or maybe because I watch a lot of like Food Network channels. So maybe I get to see it and I'm always eating, and then it just kind of makes sense in my head. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. We should.
No, I mean, I look at it and see that's a talent, because I don't have that. Well, it's like people with music, right? Some people just hear music or can create music, boom, on their own.
Exactly.
And that's something that's just a talent. Some of it can be learned. Some of it is given to you at birth.
So I have no musical talent.
Right.
I think all my talent.
Me neither. Sorry. Not right. Sorry.
No, I don't. And so I think maybe God, when he created me, he didn't give me any musical talent. He put it all in my, he gave all food talent. Maybe. I guess maybe.
Like, this person's going to be music. This person's going to be dancing. Kale, you got food.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish he gave me a little bit of music though. Like I could have used a little music and dancing. That would have been nice. And then cut back a little on the food.
Well, no, I mean, you could put time and effort into music and be okay with it. But you're probably not going to be Mozart.
My wife tried to teach me the ukulele for 12 years now. I can barely play surf. It's I just don't.
You have fat fingers or
I
something?
just don't have the coordination. She's like, can you hear that? And she can tune.
Oh, tone deaf.
I something.
Yeah, me too.
It's like a blockage.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, I don't have it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, can you? So my wife is really musically inclined, and so are all my kids, and so they can tune the ukulele just by listening to it.
Right.
I'm like, well, everything sounds the same.
Me too. So I remember I took guitar lessons in high school, and the guitar teacher was like, "Oh, okay, you hear that?" and toning it. And everybody's like, "Okay," and they hear that and they're toning it. I'm just like, it sounds the same.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I'm trying to tone it.
Yeah.
And it's just
yeah,
it sounds terrible all the way around.
I watched her do the guitar one.
Yeah.
And that is even more crazy.
Right. I could I think I'm remembering back now. I could hear the tone, but I couldn't remember what it sounded like for the next time.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I wouldn't retain that information. It was just in one ear, out the other.
Yeah. So I have none of that skill.
It's this is what it sounds like when it's fully tuned. I was like, okay. But then, the next week it's it's all out of tune. I was like, can I help over here, please?
So wait, did you finish that guitar class? Can you play a song?
Terribly.
But you can?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of crazy.
But then I had to use the tone electronic tone
to tone it. Well, a lot of people do use that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Otherwise I couldn't. And even when I played, it was
Yeah, but because that's pretty nuts.
But I had to really dive into it.
Put all your resources in it.
Right. Even as an adult, I really had to focus on playing an acoustic guitar because I wanted to teach myself acoustic guitar. And I got okay with it, but
So even for insurance, my wife is licensed with me, and we'll sit through a seminar for insurance. They're teaching us the new laws and the new certs, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And so I'm fully licensed. I've been doing this for so many years. I'm a vet in this industry. I'm not actually a vet. I'm pretty good at the job, but I have to have her after the whole meeting is Powell. I'm like, what just happened? And she's like, okay, you remember this? And she has to break it down elementary style for me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Why didn't they just say that? She's like, well, they were, but you just didn't understand it. So yeah, even that I have a hard time grasping. But food, I can watch any video on food and I can duplicate the recipe. I can look at a picture and I'll be like, okay, I can kind of figure out how to do that. I can taste the dish and I'll be like, oh yeah, I can recreate this. Yeah. So I have that, but I don't have anything else. Yeah.
So going through adulthood, when you started out, because you were in sales.
Yes.
And then you got into insurance and you're selling insurance. Because you were selling other things before that, right?
Yeah, selling fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember that conversation we had when we first met about you selling fish and stuff and how fantastic you and your team were.
It was fun.
At what point through adulthood did you get out of selling and into
cooking?
Cooking, yeah.
So we still currently have a book of business for insurance. So it's kind of like a doctor. My panel is closed. I don't accept any new patients or new customers unless it's a referral from my direct clientele base. So you don't see me advertising on the radio I used to, but I got my book big enough. So because what happens is I have to service all those people. Mm-hmm. So I think once I got my book big enough, the money for insurance just keeps coming in because it's residual income.
Right.
And so I really don't have to do any work. especially if there's no servicing. Like, I'll get a call and I'll help them with a bill or help them with a doctor. But I had like a lot of free time. So I think starting, I don't know, 2014 or so, something like that. Yeah, so I was doing insurance from like 2008 to 2000. I still do it till today, but I think around 2014 is when I transitioned from doing insurance to kind of like focusing on like food stuff. And then it was only after Instagram, so I don't know what year I joined Instagram, but I really like dived in like full time right before COVID. Yeah.
So recently,
wow. A couple, yeah. So I think I had only like a few hundred followers on Instagram, and I would always like play around with foodstuffs, and it just didn't. I've had a lot of failed businesses as well, So I was in the arena, but it was hard, and so right before COVID, the Instagram started to kind of like build up some traction. And I got booked with the this ocean to table event that I used to put on, where I take people to the beach and I cook for them right on the sand under the stars. We have like a table and cushions and like a picnic setup, like a luxury picnic setup, and I would cook for them a 3-course meal. And so I started to do that. And this is like as my Instagram is growing, so I got booked. And so I was working insurance at the time at a company, and I just said, I quit. I'm gonna go focus on my own business. Because I had booked out like 60 to 90 days worth of gigs. And it was like, wow. Good. It was good money every gig. And I had a lot of Japanese tourists. Mm-hmm. And then right when I quit, like I think maybe, I'm talking like maybe a few days, COVID shut everything down. Yeah. And so I was able to do a few of the gigs because it was kind of the beginning.
Right.
And then, boom, no flight. Something happened where the lockdown.
Yeah.
And then all my gigs, we're not going to be coming to Hawaii anymore, or we're not going to be coming to Hawaii anymore. Oh, if they're in Hawaii, we're going to be canceling. So all my gigs canceled. And then, so I was just there without a job and without income. And luckily my wife had shown me a picture of a sushi cake. And so I just started, and I just like, that's kind of cool. And so I just made a sushi cake just for fun, because she showed me a picture of it. And then I posted on Instagram and I started getting orders. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, hey, maybe we'll just make sushi cakes.
Because I remember you were talking about that when we first met. Over a year ago.
Yeah.
And you were getting into sushi cakes.
Yeah.
And you're starting to strategize about what to do with it.
Yeah. So that was recent. So I've only been doing that for about 2 years. Mm. Yeah, and the reason I did that was because COVID took away my business. Yeah, so I guess to answer your question, it's been a couple of years only. Yeah, 2 or 3 years that I've switched from the insurance to the food.
How much happier are you doing food?
Oh man, I'm so much happier. Okay. No, it's hard. I love my clients, because if they hear this, they'll be like, "Oh, no." I love my clients. I love the work that I do, but I have to recertify with the insurance carriers, and that is monitored and policed heavily. They'll do background checks and, bankruptcy checks, and, you can't, you just have to have a good track record in order. You just got to do a lot. You got to do the song and dance, I guess. Mm-hmm. You got to recertify every single year. I got to fill out paperwork. I got to take tests because the insurance that I do, changes every single year because it's Medicare. Medicare laws change every year. So I got to literally recertify every single year. And it gets a little draining because it's just a lot of paperwork and a lot of
hoops you're jumping through and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not in control of it. Right? But then after all that's my relationships with my clients and my schedule, I'm free. I create that. I work when I want. I can turn down business, and then I don't have to take on new clients, and I just work with my book of business. So that I'm happy with. But as far like the food was always just a passion project on the side. It wasn't like, I was never going to open a restaurant or cater an event. It was for fun. But then I actually turned it into like in a source of income through necessity through COVID, right? So, but I am definitely happy doing food for sure. And it's led me to like meeting really cool people. Like I got to meet Graham Elliott, who's a chef on TV from a show called MasterChef. And so I got to meet him through through social media. Like he commented on one of my posts, and I replied back, hey, if you're ever like as a joke, not a joke, but like a long shot, if you're in Hawaii, hit me up and then let's go barbecue. And next thing you know, he's in Hawaii. He's like, bro, I'm gonna be in Hawaii next week. You want to?
Where's the barbecue at?
Yeah, that's exactly
nice.
what happened.
Nice.
And so I was like, bro, it's wild. I also just did a shoot with Bretman Rock.
Nice.
Yeah, that's like, so food led me to all that.
Yeah.
Not insurance. No. I love insurance.
Well, it's like insurance is the one that started you off and gave you a comfortable place to kind of dive off.
It allowed
into all this other stuff.
Financially, it allowed me to pursue my passion projects.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Insurance did that for me. So I gotta forever be grateful to insurance for that.
Do you think you would have ever gone into all your passion projects had you not had the financial stability of the insurance first?
That's such a good question. And
like say if you worked at some, I don't know.
To be honest, I would say no. But knowing my personality, I would say, because I've had so many failing businesses that's just my person. I'd charge them. I'd risk it. But the insurance definitely provided me safe haven, because it's like that's my safety net, right? Like if all else fails, I can just go sell insurance. I can build the business up,
Mm-hmm.
So it's always there for me to like fall back on. Yeah. And it provides me income. So yeah, definitely grateful for the insurance business that we built up over the years, for sure.
You have children, right?
I have 4 kids and 1 grandkid. Yeah.
Well, okay. So as a granddad, but what kind of advice do you give, or would you give to your children as they grow old and as they get into the business environment throughout their life?
So simple. So there's this game called Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
You familiar?
Mm-hmm.
My kids are familiar with it. I tell them, Monopoly, it's freaking real. Like, it's real. So the whole goal, or not the whole goal, but one great way to make income is to buy real estate. That's my message to them. Go work, go to college, save up enough money, put a down payment on a little condo, a little studio, hold on to that, live in it, home equity line of credit, buy another place, rent out the condo, live in a bigger place, and then start buying some properties, just like the game of Monopoly. And then get a little house, and then 2 houses, and 4, then get yourself a little apartment or a hotel, and then every time someone comes and lands on your space, you get paid. So yeah, I think that's my advice to them is, on top of the other stuff, be good, be kind, we did all that when they were younger. But now that they're older, it's like, okay, get your degree, go get paid, and go buy some property. Yeah, because that's what I wish I did when I was younger.
Okay, and in turn, if you're looking at your younger self, knowing what you know now of all your passions for food and the direction and the networking that you've created, what would you tell to somebody then as far as following your passions?
I would say, that's cool. I would say to take your time. So instead of like gung ho jumping in feet first, which is fine, right? But learn from my mistakes. I would say take your time, research the project ahead of you, because I've done a lot of projects that failed, that I've invested a lot of money in. And I would say research it. I think the reason why I did so many projects and failed was because I think I knew that if it fails, I can always go back to insurance. But then you spend a lot of time, because you have that cushion, wasting money, like just lots of money, just trying to open up a restaurant or trying to open up a flower. I had a business where we shipped out flowers to the mainland. And, so I had a hermit crab business. we can circle back to that. I'll tell you about the hermit crab. This is actually a cool one. But I've done like, the quick star route where I wanted to like build up, network marketing business. And so we tried we dabbled in a lot of things. And so what I'll tell my younger self is, hey, before you just, dump money in, go research and be patient, learn about it. And then, from my personality, because I just go, I would say just take your time and then research it a little bit and then decide if you really want to do that. Yeah, I think that would be my advice. for my personality. For someone who doesn't have my personality, like, oh, they're scared. Like, oh, I don't want to do. Yeah, I'll tell them, hey, just go, just risk it, just try it. Just try it. But for me, I would say slow down, do some research, take your time, go figure out what you want to do. Yeah, don't just freaking blow money. But yeah, that would be my. What about you? What would be your advice to your younger self? Because I think all advice is great advice.
Yeah, no, I think in line with what you've been saying about, take your time and do things. But I think I'm coming to see that you have to do something.
You have to do
like,
something.
Don't wait too long. If you're going to be patient, have something that you're patient about and actually start diving into either the background of it or the research of it or training yourself for it. Learning all of the background of, whatever project that's going to be, whether it's opening a business or starting a different skill set or going into cooking or going into video or going into photography.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to be patient about it, start learning about it and really making yourself an expert as much as possible before you dive into it.
Love it.
So that when you do dive into it and start going into it, you actually have some base knowledge for that. But sometimes things just fall in your lap and kind of just go with it,
Yeah.
Be open-minded to that is an advice I would be. Don't close your mind off if somebody says, hey, you're really good at that. Take that to heart and be like,
So you're pro, like, charging them, like, well, not charging, but like, researching and risking it. You're
definitely
like,
take risks.
Yeah.
Absolutely 100% take risks. Make them as calculated as possible.
Got it. Calculated.
But, if you're on a diving board, you can't measure how high it is and what the temperature of the water is. I mean, you can do all that to a point.
Right.
But there comes a point you got to jump off the damn thing.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Fucking jump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't just stand there looking around, checking the birds out and seeing if you're going to, if it's going to hurt if you fall this way or that. Like, hey.
So would you say you're more of like, I'm just going to jump, or are you like, oh, let me analyze the height and the temperature, and like what are you more of that A or that B per, like, you'll take your time?
So am I more of the...
So like, are you more of like, because there's some, I have friends that are like, no, I'm not leaving my job. There's no way I would, risk like, making the himoy gummy bears on the side. I just won't do it. I want to go to my job. I want to get paid, and that's it. And then retire, at 65.
Yeah.
Or are you, like that? I want to chance it. Like,
I think I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not the type to just stay at one job.
Yeah.
And I do know for a fact that after starting businesses on the side, when I'm done and retired from my county job, dude, I never want to work for somebody ever again.
Right.
Like, that's done. I want to do my own thing and be my own boss.
I love it.
I don't want to be in a position where I'm being told what to do all the time and have to come into an office and have to punch in and punch out. And, my time therein and every day is regulated by someone else.
Okay, so going back to that original or not the original question, but that question about like insurance and like when did it transfer or how do I like it? I think that's exactly how I feel. It's, even though it's my own business and I can make my own schedule, I have to recertify with these large insurance carriers, and that's what I think I don't like. I feel like they have a power over me.
That's it.
I think that's what it is. You just hit it on the head.
Yeah, being beholden to somebody above you, and they're the ones that hold the paycheck.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
Yeah.
some people are comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And I'm just not one of those people.
Gotcha.
It's like, no, especially when you go outside and you start making your own business and you start making your own money doing things that you've created.
Sure.
It brings in a whole new realm of, oh my God, I can get paid for this.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
people are willing to pay me to do this.
Yeah.
Or
And it's more fun.
I created this product and people are willing to pay me good money for this product that I created. It's like, wow, okay. Why am I still here at this job? This 9 to 5? Yeah,
I love
and
it.
of course, there are reasons why you stay in for the 9 to 5. For me, when I reach the retirement point, I'm out.
Gotcha.
I'm going to retire and just kind of dive in. Some people will say, "Well, why would you wait?" Well, okay. Well, there is that safety net,
Sure.
right? And is that good or bad? I don't know. There's pros and cons to it.
Well, how close are you to retiring?
5 years.
Oh, okay. So for you, it makes total sense. To
I'm like on the later stage of it, so
yeah.
it's like, why would I jump out now?
Absolutely right.
And give up, a lifetime after that of, medical and pension and stuff like that. So,
And coming from an insurance expert, no, not expert, but no, coming from insurance field, let me tell you, I have no city and county clients. And do you know why?
Why?
Because city and county offers an incredible
medical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't have any city and county clients. Yeah. So you have a really good retirement package waiting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to give that up prematurely, I mean, it wouldn't be giving it up. It would just be at a much lower rate.
For 5 years, it's smart. Yeah. I got you.
And as long as I'm in a space where I can have the free time outside of work to be a creator and do stuff, hey, I'm good.
Got it.
You know, I've put myself in a position where having that side gig is lucrative. So definitely my advice would be to young people, follow your passions. But a lot of people that, you know, I know and I've talked to don't even know what their passions are. You know, so I ask them, hey, what's your hobby? Like, what do you do? It's like, I watch TV, you know, I'm passionate about the Steelers.
Right,
it's like,
right.
fuck, no, that's not what we're talking about. Like sitting at home watching sports for hours and hours is not necessarily okay. Like, what are you doing with that?
Yeah.
You know, I know guys that are like super knowledgeable and know all of these stats on all of these players. It's like, what are you doing with that information?
Yeah. So I think one thing what might be a great question is like, what is their talent?
Yeah.
Right. Like, so like for you, what is your talent? What do you think your talent is? That's a question I struggle with today.
Yeah.
That's why. Do you know what your talent is? Like why? You know, everyone's got a little bit, like we talked about, like the music or dancing. What is your talent, you think?
I think definitely what I've seen when I started out the video stuff. Yeah. Because before the video stuff, I would say my talent would be, hey, talking, conversing with people, asking these
communications,
really listening to the person and trying to get to the in depth of what they're saying, not just listening to the words,
right?
But actually listening to, you know, their soul, their heart, and trying to get into deeper detail of who they are as a person. So while that's one of them, you know, when I started doing video work, right off the bat, it was emotionally, right off the bat, it kind of showed a real emotional connection, or had a real emotional connection to the viewer. And I was able to really guide the viewer on like kind of a story, you know, with the music and the cuts and, you know, the scenes and stuff like that, to where it was just a highly emotional video.
So you could
connecting with people. Yeah. I don't know how better to explain that.
No. You're connecting with people through podcast and communications, and also through video.
Right. So the way you would look at food, or you look at a picture of food and say, oh, how you can dissect that. So I would look at video and say, oh, I can do that. Oh, that's why they do that. Oh, this is how we do that. And then put it together in a video and watch something and see, oh, this looks bad or this looks good. And really start to, even though I'm building that up, I'm by no means an expert at all.
Right.
You know, I think I'm definitely enough to do professional work.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's definitely just one of those passions that fell in my lap.
I love it.
I was like, whoa, okay, I'll do this.
I love it. Because that's another thing that I have no idea.
Right.
You know, when you cut and edit a video, I can do it. I'm so bad at it. I
can't cook. So
we need to work together then. Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay.
But no, let's circle back to hermit crabs real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. Because if there's a young entrepreneur listening to this podcast, then they might want to like jump on this.
What the hell are you going to do with hermit crabs?
Okay, check this out. So you can call the name anything you want, but I called it crazy crabs. Okay. So
that sounds really bad.
Yeah.
Like you got to go doctor.
I think I might have been like 21 years old when we started this business. And it was, what we did was we collected hermit crabs. And I don't know if you know this, because I work a lot with the ocean and near the ocean. But if you take a hermit crab and then you put in a shell, like an empty shell, or if it like the hermit crab is too big, or if it has a cracked shell, you can take a clear jar of water, salt water, put the hermit crab in, and take another shell and drop it in there. Mm-hmm. And the crab will change from one shell to the other right in front of your eyes. Yeah. Like I should actually make a video of it. It's so cool.
Yeah, totally should.
So what we did, I should actually make the video to just show, because people don't know about crazy crabs. So what I did was I would take all these shells that I would find. I would even purchase some shells, and then we would paint them. So like we'd spray paint them different colors. I would put so we'd buy like little rhinestones, like gems, and I would paste it on top of the shell. We would put like little mini footballs on them, and we would design all kind of crazy shells. So I made some where the shells were like super high, like that. We put like flowers, we just whatever you can think of, just painted shells, like any type of creative like thing. We would make these shells, and then I would go to the swap meet, and then so at the swap meet you're not allowed to sell live like live creatures. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is I'd have this tank full of hermit crabs, okay, and then I had like a towel over it, and then when people would walk by, I would remove the towel, and I would say, "You want to see something cool?" And they were like, yeah, they see these hermit crabs. I'd grab my hermit crab, put it into the water. I would have a separate tank with just nothing. And I would say, pick a shell. And they would grab like some kind of cool, and I would drop it in. And the hermit crab would change right in front of them. And now this hermit crab is walking around with like a star on its shell. And people would just lose their mind. Like, so I had all these shells. I had pink shells, blue shells. We had, just all kind of shells. We had happy face.
What's the business?
So you would sell these hermit crabs, and they would put them in their saltwater tanks with different colored shells.
Okay.
But also we sold kits. So the kit was a little, those shrimps that you put onto your office table?
Yeah.
And then it just, from the sunlight, it creates like, I guess, moss.
Ecosystem.
Yeah. And then shrimp. Okay. So we were selling those, but with a disclaimer that so we were doing a lot of research and development. The hermit crab would only last for about 14 to 30 days, and then it would die. But for those 14 to 30 days, you'd have a little so inside my kit, it was a little saltwater thing with gravel, different shells, and then hermit crab food. Mm. And then all you'd have to do is we gave them a bottle of salt water, and they would just have to refill their tank every like 2 days, because the water evaporates, and so they would just fill it up. So yeah, it was called Crazy Crabs. Yeah, but it didn't do too well.
Is that the lifespan of the hermit crab?
Unfortunately, no. If you put it in a regular tank, they live for a long time. I don't know the exact dates, but they live like just like a regular hermit crab lifespan. But definitely not 30 days. We got picked up by an art dealer in Waikiki. Mm-hmm. He saw all the little kits that we had, and then like the different colored shells. We put it in his shop. Yeah. But then the problem we ran into was people were from Japan wanting to bring them back to Japan, and they would have to leave them with customs, because you can't bring that live thing back to Japan. So
you can't get hermit crabs in Japan?
Well, you can't bring it from Hawaii to Japan.
Right, but the shell. Yeah. I mean, are they buying the crab or are they buying the shell?
They're kind of buying the whole thing. I was 21, but it was just a cool thing, because having the crab switch shells, it's a wild experience. And then they got these different colored shells, So anyway,
so like you're giving a gift to an animal, and the animal's like picking that one.
Yeah, well, because you could throw like 3 or 4 shells, and then he'll try on the shell that he wants. Yeah, it's a super interesting thing.
You could have like a little gambling thing going on. It's like,
I don't know what the rules are now with
place bets on which shell he's gonna pick.
Oh yeah, no, they'll try them all on. Like he'll try because if it's too small or if it's too
right,
big,
but which one he's gonna end up
and then
sticking with.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't know nowadays. With social media and with PETA, they I don't know how well that would do. Like because they probably like think like animal abuse, but.
Well, you're giving them a home. Come on, man.
Yeah. But that was one of my first businesses I tried.
There's all kinds of TikTok videos of like animals doing crazy stuff.
I should make the video of them just changing the shell, because it's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool. But yeah, that was that was like 20 years ago.
And it's like, where do people find the hermit crab? Because if they want that for their own tank at home.
There's millions of them.
In the mainland.
Oh, in the mainland, no. In Hawaii, there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah. So there's something called a land hermit crab too.
Oh.
And that is actually a thing, because you don't have to care for them as much as a little one. They live on land. And then so they'll change the shell, and so it's a thing for land hermit crabs.
Oh.
They're big. They're big, like
like a foot.
They're huge.
In diameter.
Yeah, they're scary. They're gross looking. Yeah. Anyway, that was my hermit crab story.
That's so funny. It's like, where do you come up with creative ideas like that?
Yeah.
But those are the things that crazy ideas, somebody somewhere is going to take that and skyrocket with it, right?
Yeah.
Or make a successful business out of it.
Yeah.
But at least you guys took the dive.
Yeah, we did. And then, we didn't spend too much money on that business because all the product was free. We collected the shells and we got the hermit crabs from the beach. But it was just a fun little project that we had that didn't go nowhere.
But you guys learned from it.
We did.
Yeah.
You learn like about customs and you learn about not being able to sell live creatures. The swap meet, back then, they were so cool. Like security rolled through and so it would cover the thing. And they knew because people would be walking around with a hermit crab sanctuary, right? And everyone would be like, "Where'd you get?" And they would point them. So we did really well at the swap. We did good at the swap meet. And then we got stopped. I think after a month or two, they're like, "Yeah, you can't sell hermit crabs at the swap meet. We told you this before you got here."
That was way before social media. Like now with social media out there, yeah, you could do. I mean, you wouldn't even have to sell crabs. You're just posting videos and stuff. Yeah, that's the beauty of all this. It's like where can that go? You know, with the social media realm.
Somebody can run with it. Yeah. I'm a little too busy these days.
Not us, but somebody.
Yeah,
Great idea. Somebody roll with it. Because you have to look at like what's your passion too. Like, are you passionate about doing X, Y, or Z?
Right.
And would you be willing to do that for free? Because if you're not willing to do it for free, you're probably not going to want to do it for long term getting paid anyways, right?
That's a little gem right there. Yeah. That's good. I like that.
That's my hack, my business hack.
yeah.
Entrepreneur hack.
That's a thing.
Right. Because if you're not going to do it, how are you going to do it long term and keep repeating some of these things? Like even for me, videography and stuff like that, it's like it's going to, at a certain point, it's going to get repetitive. How do you continue on when it becomes mundane and repetitive?
I love it.
It's just like, oh, this is another one. Oh, this is another one to do. At what point do you continue as a passion?
All right. No, that makes total sense. Yeah. That makes total sense. I freaking love that. That's good.
Just like your dinners on the beach, man.
Yeah, so hopefully we can build up the website and bring that back. I've just been so busy with some other projects going. All food related. Yeah, all food related. Yeah, that. So hopefully within like the month or two, I can build up a website and then slowly start to incorporate that back.
You're doing your own website, or you have people doing it?
I'm gonna hire this girl that I found on social media. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, you're at the point where you just you hire people for this, hire people for that to build up, your whole brand and everything.
Yeah. So So we have these knives that I want to like showcase, and then furikake. So we're gonna put those on top of the website. Yeah. So so recently, every time you start a project, it just takes on a life of its own. So recently, we've been really busy with furikake. So I created something called spicy Ahi Furikake.
I remember that.
And so so remember that was so long ago. And what I was doing was I was trying to take my own advice. Like, okay, let's find a co-packer. Let's be patient. Let's really like source out the product. And I had a business partner that was trying to help me do this. And my business partner was taking too long. Like nothing was getting done. And so I was like, you know what? So a couple months ago, I just pulled the trigger. And we just started packaging it and then selling it. And now I cannot keep it in stock.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a good problem to have.
I have 2 workers that help me pack every single week. So I don't do anything now that we've been doing it. So now I just pay them. They cook it, they pack it, they seal it, and then I just mail it out. And we sell it every week. Yeah. So I'm looking at like scaling that somehow. So we're trying to figure that out right now.
Is it just hiring more people or bringing in more product?
I'm gonna have to get a space. So right now we're working out of the pagoda because that's my support kitchen. Yeah. But that kitchen is being occupied now with Sodabo and with their own staff, with pagoda staff. So Sodabo moved into pagoda because their building got closed down. They're building a condominium over there, so they moved to pagoda. So it looks like I might have to but then when you do that, there's risk, right? There's monthly bills and electricity, and there's a lease that you got to pay. So I don't want to take the step yet. I'd rather just sell out every week and kind of sit where we're at and then kind of figure out how to scale the business. I think I'm going to have to talk to some smart guy. Yeah. Yeah. And then figure out how to scale it.
Once you scale it, now you're
committed.
You're selling it all over the world potentially. Right.
Right. And you're committed, right? So it's like, it's a little bit of a risk. So I'm trying to take my own advice and be patient and kind of kind of really think things through before I take the plunge. Yeah. Because I'm ready. I'm like, let's just do it. But I'm like, let's listen to your own advice and let's kind of work things through. So that's what we're in the process of doing right now. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes in the next couple of months. That's a fun one.
The other amazing aspect to being an entrepreneur like yourself is that you're now employing people. So now you're giving people work. You're giving people a livelihood. And people don't always make the connection of entrepreneurs. Oh, you're just lucky. You just work for yourself and do this, do that. It's like, well, no, not always. Sometimes these entrepreneurs are the ones that create careers for other people who otherwise wouldn't have.
A catalyst, man. It's a catalyst that just opens up opportunities and doors for all kinds of things.
Right.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
So take that to heart when you're opening up your new warehouse.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're gonna hire 30 more people.
No,
So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. But no, yeah, you're right though. You're right. Yeah. I feel like the business too, it creates opportunities, like not just meeting people. Yeah, I think the owning a business, it helps you meet and network with other business owners and like-minded people that you can draw inspiration from. So I get to meet so much people here locally on island that their hustle and their grind, they're doing, like what you're doing. And it's super inspirational. Like I get surrounded by people that are like loving and kind. Like during this past year, it's like I've met a brand new family from the Instagram community. It's so wild.
Good.
I've met so many people that you always kind of got to watch out, right? Because I've been screwed over a couple of times, which is okay, right? Because you learn. But man, I've met some people, like small businesses that are just doing amazing things. There's all these what is it? Like there's just kind of this big food truck thing happening out on the west side. They have it in Peridge. They have these farmers markets opening up. They have like this event called What the Truck. And you're just meeting like so What the Truck is like this event that happens, I think, out in Kapolei. And they have all these food trucks and all these vendors, and it just gets loaded with people. And I think they even have one at Kapolei Residence Inn. And so, yeah, you get to meet all these new people and brah, it's been a wild year. Like I've met some really, really, really nice people. Yeah, their businesses are so successful, and I'm getting to learn and get mentored by them. So I'm super thankful. Yeah. Yeah.
It just reminds me of one of my awesome quotes that I love to really remind myself of. Your network is your net worth, or vice versa. Your net worth is your network.
I like that.
It's not your money or anything like that. It's who you know and the people that can help support you and the people that you support too. So
I love it. Yeah.
And yours is just like boom.
It's
expanding.
Luckily, yeah. You just you put out a good product and you just be honest and you meet like-minded people. Yeah. I think anyway. We'll see.
You're just a cheerful guy. You're just like friendly.
Yeah. So I tell everyone. I say, yeah. You just like everyone's like talking about money and like getting. You gotta put your walls up. You gotta watch out. I was like, because I've been screwed over before pretty bad on some business deals. Lost a lot of money, but then you know what? Those aren't my business partners anymore. So I said, if that happens. There's always money. There's so much money to be made. It's no big deal. You get screwed over, you learn, okay, that's who that person is, and we just move to the next. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that might not be a great advice, but
no, I think actually I was like going to touch on that aspect right there is money.
Yeah.
Like, what are your viewpoints of money? Because you kind of nailed it right there, where there's always money out there to be made. Like, oh, you're going to lose this amount of money? Okay, I learned, I fucked up, whatever. I'm not going to die. Like, we're going to make more money.
I think so. I think because I did business with friends when I was younger, and even recently, my relationship with my friends is so much deeper than money. So every time we do like a partnership or a collaboration that involves money, I'm always the first. Like I say, okay, if things go south, our relationship is too golden, it's too deep, I'm gonna walk away. And I don't care about the money. You can take them. We can run. I'll just walk away. I'd rather restore the relationship than ever have a fight about money. That's always my approach when I go into business, especially with these smaller entrepreneurs that are coming up. Because I'm small, right? So there's a couple of us that we do business together, and we trade and we barter and we share our community of Instagram followers and so yeah, like that's kind of like my approach is like I'd rather walk away from a deal and then lose that potential to make the money and just have a relationship. Yeah. So it's not that I don't care about money. It's that I think that when you just do the work, honestly, the money just takes care of itself. As a young insurance broker, I made a super big mistake. And this is kind of what set me on my path about money is I was making a lot of money as like this young kid doing insurance. And I was counting all my sales. Okay, like legit. So like this is my first month in the business, and I had like, I don't know, 50 sales, which is like unheard of. It's like you're making a lot of money. And I was like, babe, I'm telling my wife, I'm at 50 sales. I can probably get like 75 sales for this season. And so what I was doing was I was like, I had a goal and I started pushing towards the 75. And then an application came through. I forced it through. Like I was like, oh, where are you from? So what happens is when you're from a different island, there's different rules in a different box and different application. Anyway, I messed up. I put the wrong box as a mistake as a young agent. And my superior looked over it and then they're like, I think that should be good. Send it through. And so what happened was my heart was in the sale. Like I was looking for sales. So I discredited that little feeling that you have in your gut, that what they call your gut feeling. Like I thought, like, I think I better triple check. I already double checked with the boss, but I think I got to triple check. I think I did the application wrong. And come to find out, I freaking did the application wrong. And what happened was I messed up this lady's insurance for 1 whole year. She got locked out of her group plan. I messed it up and I felt like crap. And so I told my wife, and this was on a local lady. I said, we're never going to count sales again. Never. I'm never going to count money. We're never going to look at a sale. We're never going to look at money. We're going to look at the application and what's best for the client. And then the money is just going to have to be what it is. And never again. And ever since then, this happened in 2008. Yeah, it was like December 2nd or something like that. It was like the later part of the year. And I just felt like crap. It was horrible. It was such a like life-changing experience. That one little thing where I just said, if I just focused on the client and doing what's best for her, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. But my mind was, oh, let's count sales, let's count money. So that's kind of like my attitude. I learned that lesson early, luckily. And so now I don't focus on money. You just do what's right for the client, and the money takes care of itself. And that's kind of like the philosophy we've been living by. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
No, that's great advice.
I don't know. Yeah. Some people are probably listening to this.
I'm going to tell you right now, you got to stop like discrediting yourself after you give this golden mantra of advice this nice story format. And then at the very end, you're giving I don't know if that makes sense. Or I don't know if it's like, no, dude, it does. Yeah? It's gold. Just let it be gold.
Let it be gold.
Just let it be golden. Stay golden.
I love it.
Or is that from The Outsiders? Yeah. Stay golden, pony boy.
Yeah. I read that book when I was a little bit younger. Yeah.
But, yeah, because I think if you play just for money, that's good and all. But at the end of the day, how do you feel about yourself is worth a lot more than how much money you make. Yeah. You know? And there's a lot of people that don't make a whole lot of money that feel great about themselves. Yeah. Great about the work that they're doing. And that's awesome. That's beautiful. You know, it's not always about the money.
And I think that, yeah. So, I mean, everyone's got a different philosophy when it comes to money because, you know, we're living in Hawaii too, right? Money's tight, man. Yeah. It's rough. You know, everyone's working 2-3 jobs and we you know, in a 2-bedroom house, we got, you know, 8 people living inside, I'm one of them, so I get it. Everyone's got their own philosophy on money. That's why I don't like to like imply my philosophy on others because everyone's got their own struggle that they're walking through, So, but that's just what I learned from my career and kind of my approach on how I do business with people now. Yeah. Like I just kind of tell it, if I get screwed over, I get screwed over. Well, obviously, you try to limit your, calculate your risk, right? So I'll never go into a huge contract unless, we got, our I's dotted and our T's crossed. But, for these smaller collaborations, our community, which I believe in so much, bro, people are doing so well. I can just name a whole bunch of people doing so well from the Instagram community, people that I've met in just this past year. And I'm super happy with where we're at and then where we're going. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Yeah.
Personal question. Do you have a favorite quote or kind of a mantra or anything that you live by or like?
I do. It's a Bible verse.
Okay. Ooh.
I don't have it memorized. It's on my Mac computer, and I don't have it's Ecclesiastes 12:22. I gotta Google it. But basically the scripture goes like this: two men can fight back to back. Two men can like fight back to back, and they can overcome or they can be beaten. Right? I'm sorry. If you fight alone, you can be overcome by the enemy. But two can fight back to back and win. Three is even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. And basically what the scripture is talking about is you can do things by yourself. And, you might be okay or you might get beat. But if you do something with a partner or like a friend, it's hard to get beat. But if you have three or a community, it's hard to be beat. A triple braided cord is not easily broken. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a great quote.
I got to go find out the exact scripture. Yeah. But that's one of my favorite scriptures from the Bible that just it's like kind of a nod to teamwork,
right,
and community,
right.
Which is that's a great question you asked, EO.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, that's like my common question.
Is it?
Yeah,
that's pretty. That's like consistent with our whole entire podcast and I just talked about money.
I know a little bit about podcasts.
That's really awesome, man. I love that.
No, I love the quote. Teamwork and goes back to back with a network. Is your net worth kind of thing. It's just like beautiful. It ties in together.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. What about you? What is yours?
Oh, I have a lot.
Martin Luther King has some pretty good quotes that I like too from him.
Like what?
Shucks. So when I used to be a sales manager.
Yeah.
And I used to produce like these motivational morning meetings every morning. And so I used to just rely on quotes, and I used to turn to Martin Luther King for a lot of them. He has one about talking about oh man, I gotta go Google it. I've been so out of the sales game for so long, but he has one about talking about the winds, strong winds don't create strong trees, or something to do. Basically saying the bigger the challenges, the deeper your roots grow and the stronger you are. The lighter the challenges, it's yeah. Or there's one, I don't know who said this one, but don't tell me how rough the seas is. Don't tell me how rough the seas are. Just bring the ship in. I don't know if that's by anybody or if it's unknown. That's one of my favorite ones too. I tell that to my kids all the time. Oh, I gotta go do this. Don't tell me how rough the seas are. Just bring the ship in. Just get us there.
Yeah, those are always good. I like quotes that if it's not easy, is it worth doing kind of things.
Got it.
And vice versa, there's also quotes where everything's easy. Some take longer than others, but at the end of the day, it's all easy.
I love it.
Like, okay, well, have you tried to learn Mandarin? Because let's be honest, not everything's easy.
No, but the point being is that everything's
it's
easy.
within your grasp to do. At least to a certain level.
No, I like that. I like that.
I'm never going to compose music or anything like that. No matter how much I study or learn or anything like that, it's not going to be the greatest kind of thing. But yeah, so stuff like that, that's very mindful and pushes people in the direction of going outside your comfort zone.
Yep.
So whatever gets you there, I think is always worthwhile for me to look at.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. Yeah.
God, I had some good ones. It's like,
yeah, it's hard to remember because I read so many quotes, and before back in the day when I was a sales manager, man, that's all we did. Zig Ziglar and Martin Luther. I mean, we just read little quotes from them and then break it down. Yeah, we should do that a lot. Yeah, I haven't done that in such a long time.
That's one on the tip of my tongue. It's like,
yeah, and to memorize it.
Something is like if it's easy, it's not worth doing, and if it's hard, if you live an easy life, if you live easy, your life will be hard. If you live hard, your life will be easy.
Gotcha.
Something like that.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll go Google it after this.
Yeah. But that's the gist, right?
No, I like it. Yeah. I like that. If
you live hard, hopefully, and hard being putting yourself out there, taking these risks, learning stuff, putting that learning to use. You know, it's not enough to get educated only. You have to get educated and then be productive afterwards or during.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Like you could know all the recipes and how to cook all the amazing stuff, but if you didn't put yourself out there for, to sell your service, you wouldn't be doing anything.
Exactly. To get what you never had, you got to do what you didn't do. Yeah.
Be productive.
Absolutely. I love it. That's good.
Yeah.
What are we at for time?
About an hour 10.
Oh, we're over. We did it.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah, cheers.
we should celebrate. Or is there any poignant questions that you want to get and edit in?
Well, one of the ones that I do like to ask is about historical figures. And do you have a historical figure that you've either read about and really liked and kind of followed along? You mentioned Martin Luther King. Is there a historical figure that you would like to cook for and have a conversation with?
Man, that's a deep question, Eo. There is. And it's Kobe Bryant.
Oh.
I can't talk about him too long because I'll start crying. I haven't mourned him properly.
He's an amazing dude. Or he was an amazing dude. I don't think people realize.
I feel so disappointed in myself that I didn't work harder to be in or around his realm of people. Because I feel like if I had worked harder, and so a little backstory. I wasn't like a full-blown alcoholic, but I was doing the insurance thing. Okay, so we made a good amount of money, and then I started this pretty big project, this little restaurant that failed, and I put all my money into it. And I drove me and my wife to like the edge of our limits, and we had kids, and it was just the worst time ever. And I was so prideful and so stubborn, and I was young, and I was cocky, and I was like, bro, no matter what happens, I'm gonna make this thing work. And I kept pouring money into it and borrowing money and taking loans and getting credit. And I just was pouring, and we lost it all. It was like the most expensive learning experience ever. Anyway, after that, I kind of went to like a downward spiral. I didn't know about it, but I kind of went to like a downward spiral. And I started to drink quite a bit. And I didn't know if it was, at the time, I was just having a good time. I was fishing and eating and drinking. And I did that pretty much every day for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And then I got back into the workforce, valeting cars, washing dishes, just slowly. And keep in mind, I still had my insurance business that I would, they would pay me out every single month. So we were paying the bills, but we weren't like maximizing our potential, right? So when I stopped drinking, this is when everything changed, EO. Like this is like a couple years ago, like right before COVID. And anyway, so when I felt so terrible that I wasted these years of my life, like if I had worked, like maybe I could have like put on a dinner maybe not, but at least if I had worked to my potential, maybe I could have like got an audience with Kobe Bryant. Like I felt like if I had just worked and like I felt like he was somebody that eventually like I could like cook with or have just not like a relationship with, but maybe so I could sit down and ask him about mindset coaching or what does he think I should do and how should I apply. And he was somebody that I really looked up to. Like
what stands out with him for you as far as mindset and coaching?
So like so you know how there's a debate with him and Michael Jordan, like who's the best? Like he learned from Michael Jordan obviously, but I think he's a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. There wouldn't be a Kobe Bryant without Michael Jordan. But as far as skill set wise, I think he's better. And I think the reason why I'm drawn to him is because when you look at interviews with Michael Jordan from 20, 30 years ago, and you look at interviews from him now, his mindset is still the same. You saw the show The Last Dance, where it's on Netflix. So they did a documentary on Michael Jordan. His mindset is the same. Competitive, pride. Kobe, you've seen the development of the maturity of his mind. And so he was like young and cocky and prideful, and he was like a competitive. But then as he started to end his career, and even after basketball, he was like, man, I was dumb. If I knew now what I knew back then, right? He was telling this interview, like, I would have put more human feel into the locker room. Like I was just a machine. I was just like competitive. but it needed a human touch. Like you needed to like be able to have a conversation with somebody, you know, like if he looked back and he matured, like, so that's something I was drawn to. Like he wasn't just like this one robot machine. Like he was like maturing, like right before our eyes. And I kind of fell in love with that. Like he was able to look back at his mistakes and he's like, if I had done this way, like if I could redo it again, this is what I would have done. Like I would have not been so prideful with Shaq. Like I would have like took a lesser role and I would have made sure he stayed and I stayed and we would have won 3-4 more champions. You know, so he was able to like look back at his career and be like, and kind of analyze it. Whereas, you know, Michael Jordan, they did that with him and he was kind of like, oh no, yeah, this is why I did it. And he wouldn't change anything.
Right.
You know, so not that it was a turnoff, but he's, you know, Michael Jordan says it, he's cursed with that competitive, you know, mindset. But Kobe, he was cursed with that competitive mindset like Michael Jordan, but he was able to like mature. And that's what I was really like in love with. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have to go play baseball.
Well, that's because Michael Jordan conquered the basketball world, right? So, but yeah, so there yeah, and I love hearing stories about how competitive. I like to be competitive, not now as I'm older, but I like to play basketball. Mm-hmm. I like to be competitive, but like hearing the stories, like I heard a story from Lou Williams and how they lost the game and Kobe Bryant was like, I want everyone to take off my shoes. And then I'm going to throw it away. And he started to use, you know, F words. I don't want to swear on your podcast, but Lou Williams is telling a story. And then Kobe was like, everyone take off your shoes. And then Lou Williams, he knows he's pissed, but he doesn't think he's serious. And then Kobe Bryant just starts taking people's shoes and throwing them in the trash. And then Lou Williams like, oh my gosh, this guy's serious. Like he's really serious. But I just started cracking up at like that kind of story. Like just like he was just wanting to, I don't know. So yeah, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant.
So how to get past? So you're looking at it more of the evolution of Kobe Bryant, not necessarily the competitive, hardworking.
I mean, all of it, but definitely
the evolution.
Definitely the evolution is like what I was drawn to.
Because there's a lot of uber competitive people, athletes, business people out there, but yeah, it's the rare ones that are uber competitive, super successful, and then evolve beyond that.
Yeah, and that's like so his evolving, his maturing, and like life after basketball, that's what I fell in love with that. I was like, damn, this guy's just going to be good at everything he does. And not be good, but he's going to work hard.
Right.
And that was his whole mantra, was working hard. And then, he passed. And at the time when he passed, I was still drinking. And then I just remember like feeling stupid, like, damn, you just wasted your life, you know, just drinking and fishing. And then shortly after that, I think about a year later is when I stopped drinking and everything changed. Everything. Yeah, my life completely turned around. My Instagram started to go up and I started getting gigs and sushi cakes and ocean. And, you know, and since then, it's been a whirlwind. Yeah.
Here's a psychological, spiritual question. Not psychological, spiritual. In the time of our lives, lifeline, however you want to look at it, do you feel like you are in the place that you're meant to be? Are you a little bit behind, catching up? Or are you at or beyond where you should be in your lifeline?
I'm definitely, in my mind, I'm behind schedule because I've had some wasted years just doing nothing with my life or my talents or my gifts or my passions. I squandered it, you know. So now I'm trying to make up for lost time and steward these talents and passions, relationships. I'm trying to steward them well. So, so I feel like I'm behind schedule. I feel like everything happens for a reason, you know, so I think it's okay. So I'm not going to beat myself up or be depressed about it. I'm definitely going to learn from it and use that to fire me, to motivate me to move forward for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to hear that you're not like, you don't feel like you're super far behind.
Yeah.
But, you know, definitely having those wasted years, you know, I have similar feelings for myself about that. You know, I do feel I'm behind and catching up as to where I'm supposed to be. So.
Yeah, and, you know, it's okay, though, because for whatever reason you feel behind or whatever reason I feel behind, we're here now.
Yeah.
we're here now and we're moving forward. And I think the future looks promising and bright. And we do our best. We learn from our mistakes, and then I think that's all we can do, right? Is do our best. And so I feel like that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm doing my best. And I feel good about that.
That's a great quote. Do your best. Like that's the Boy Scouts right there, right?
Yeah.
But not people just don't do it.
Yeah. Well, some people are just doing the best with what they feel comfortable with, right? Like,
but you can't do that. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to stretch. You got
to stretch.
Go out of that box.
You got to stretch.
Yeah, because the best at what you're comfortable is not your best.
Yeah.
Like Kobe Bryant would not be the best if he just stayed inside his comfort zone box.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't have been in the NBA at all.
Yeah.
You got to step out. You got to take dives. You got to risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not take dives like soccer. I'm talking about taking dives like dive off the diving board.
Yeah.
Stop measuring.
Take a risk. Yeah.
Yeah. Take risks. Kale, it's been so freaking awesome having you on, brother.
Yo, thank you so much. This was fun. And we're way over, so I'm sorry. You got to edit and you got to cut this down.
No, I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to cut it down at all, man. It's going out full blast. That's the great thing about podcasts. There's no time limit.
Hey, come as you are, right?
Yeah, some people like 3-hour podcasts. None of this 5-minute, quick clip of you, sound bites and stuff like that. No, this is, that's why I love podcasts, is that you get into the real conversation, the real meat of everything.
This is my first one. Yeah.
Not going to be your last.
Not going to be my last. Yeah. Hopefully.
All
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Right on, brother. Okay. Right. As always, everybody, stay happy, Hawaii. Remember, Kale Shanks, Hawaii's only.